Since the dawn of our civilization, all the way to the time of this breaking news, we humans believed that everything that exists up there is only what we can see with our eyes and with our optical instruments. Well, things have changed now, because we have established the existence of entities existing in our terrestrial environment. And these entities are completely invisible to our eyes as well as to our optical instruments, but are fully visible with new instruments, therefore dramatically enlarging our conception of the perceivable universe, with far-reaching possibility of future development and discoveries that perhaps are beyond our imagination at this time.
The revolutionary Santilli telescope is designed to detect antimatter in deep space. By antimatter, we mean an entity with characteristics that are the exact opposite of ordinary matter.
Those entities appear to conduct unauthorized surveillance of rather sensitive civilian, industrial, and military installations.
What we have learned is that reality is much bigger than we originally supposed. Reality consists not only of things that we can see and observe with our eyes and ordinary telescopes, but things that we can't see with our eyes and with ordinary telescopes. But the Santilli telescope allows us to see things that we have never seen before.
If you felt the ground moving in Charleston today, maybe your house was shaking a bit, you certainly were not alone.
That's right.
We felt it right here in Mount Pleasant, some even as far out as Williamsburg.
Yeah, you felt it. I had lots of friends telling me that they felt it. Sure. What we can tell you right now is that it was not an earthquake, so hopefully that will relieve some of your concerns. The loud boom and shaking happened shortly after 12:30.
It was because this was such a loud sound. Some people said it sounded like a lot of construction equipment toppling over. One person said it was like a large car backfiring really loudly. Another guy said it sounded like someone was moving around furniture above him, and nope, it wasn't that, and we now know it was not an earthquake either, but it was enough that some dialed 911.
Obviously, people are feeling it all over.
I heard like the roof rattle, like we have some loose stuff up there, and it kind of was a big rumbling, and then felt the ground shake a little bit.
I heard this rumble and a kind of a banging noise.
Experts are now investigating what caused a series of sonic booms to shake and startle parts of the East Coast today.
Not only did many people think it was an earthquake, but the force was so powerful it cracked the walls and ceiling of a mobile home in Barnegat, New Jersey.
The U.S. Geological Survey says 9 sonic booms happened about 30 miles southeast of Philly. They don't know where the booms came from, but they normally come from planes. The nearby McGuire Air Force Base says none of its planes can create a sonic boom.
That is the sound that rattled people across New Jersey today. Many people thought it was an earthquake. They took to social media, and NBC 10 viewers called our newsroom trying to find out what was going on.
Tonight, that mystery is solved, and it was not an earthquake.
The 911 calls poured in. Egg Harbor Township Police saying they'd gotten an influx of calls in reference to loud noises and shaking. Mary Mitchell says the rumble rocked her furniture and rattled ceiling tiles out of place.
They're like, oh my God, what was that? We don't know if it was a bomb, if it was a plane.
Just a few steps down the Atlantic City boardwalk, the workers at this massage parlor felt it too.
It was shaking like that.
Nearby, Asif Ansari was just walking into his store.
And then I was coming up from the parking lot. I seen the shutter gate. It was moving. It was shaking. It was shaking really bad.
Indeed, people felt the rumble from Cape May all the way up to Long Island. You could hear the rattle of that garage door in Egg Harbor Township, and you can see the cracks left in these walls at a home in Barnegat Township. Shop owners tell us they were not the only ones scared. People who were out walking on the beach also noticed it and rushed up here to the boardwalk, frightened and confused.
A mystery tonight on Sanibel Island. Thousands of starfish, sea urchins, and conch are washing up on the beaches.
I've never seen anything like this, ever. Hopefully they can figure out what's going on and fix it.
There was actually thousands of starfish. I just couldn't imagine that there would be any starfish left out there, as many as we saw. It was just unbelievable.
I've never seen it like this before. There's just thousands upon thousands of them, and it just goes on. We walked on the beach for maybe a quarter mile.
In Whittier, Alaska, seabirds are dying. An estimated 8,000 common murres were found along the shore recently. One of North America's most abundant seabirds, the common murres are apparently starving to death.
What we want to do is just figure out, is this an isolated event or is this happening across Prince William Sound?
American Airlines this morning is investigating a mystery illness on a transatlantic airliner.
Mid-air mystery, a plane forced to turn around when passengers and crew started passing out at 30,000 feet.
Eric Winter was one of 172 passengers on American Flight 109. British boy band Race the Horizon was also on board and says a flight attendant collapsed in the aisle.
It was just a shock, really. Like, she was walking down the aisle and, I don't know, she just literally fainted in front of me.
The 4-year-old Boeing 777 departed London's Heathrow Airport around noon Wednesday for Los Angeles.
The source of a growing outbreak of norovirus remains a mystery, but state investigators are working to get to the bottom of it.
But we did talk to a woman who got sick. Take a listen.
I've never been sick like that before. I mean, I've had 24-hour bugs and intestinal bugs, but it was pretty acute.
Warning now from the World Health Organization that the Zika virus is, quote, spreading explosively. And this year alone, 3 to 4 million in North and South America could be infected with the virus linked to birth defects.
A relatively new mosquito-borne virus is causing a lot of concern after it was found in 24 countries.
A Pinellas County elementary school is trying to stop a chickenpox outbreak in its tracks. If a child has not been vaccinated, they're now being told to stay at home for up to 21 days.
One upstate toddler getting national attention after her parents recorded her saying a prayer in her crib.
The family posted the video to Facebook just days ago.
On Sunday, Catherine and her husband recorded this video of their 2-year-old in her crib. The family got home late, didn't go through their normal bedtime routine. Moments after putting Sutton down, they heard noises, turned on the baby monitor, and watched.
Thank you, my mommy.
For her to be laying there and thinking about who she was thankful for and lifting that up to God, we were just really shocked.
Sutton isn't much for conversation with this camera, but that's okay. She reserves her talks for the one that matters most.
They believe Sutton's faith is being used to send a message to people worldwide.
Have you seen something unusual in the morning sky lately?
Yeah, since you're watching now, we know you're an early riser, of course.
Right. And this is a phenomenon you'll only see this time of day. Right now, 5 planets are visible in the morning sky.
Now, you'll be able to see all of these planets by themselves in our night sky, or some of them together, but having them all 5 visible at once is a little bit more rare because they are sort of going around the sun at their own pace.
Do you ever wonder what people before all the science evolved thought this might mean? I mean, I would think this kind of thing would mean something to societies.
That monster winter storm, blizzard watch for New York and Washington, and America's capital has already been hit hard by a different storm.
The D.C. metro area is expecting the worst, a blizzard like they've never seen.
We haven't seen a storm like this in the district in 90 years.
Still, it was enough to delay even the leader of the free world. The president's motorcade trapped by the gridlock, ping-ponging from curb to curb on a frozen street.
It's deja vu for many communities along the New Jersey shore.
after floodwaters and winds rivaling Superstorm Sandy pounded the coast over the weekend.
I don't know how I could possibly say that. I've been down here about 5 years and I've never seen flooding this bad.
We just saw what the ocean has done to the Jersey Shore, but in the West, after 4 years of drought, El Nino has kicked in with crushing waves and pounding rains.
Well, there's been a lot of terrible weather here on the East Coast, but out in California and the West Coast been hit by El Nino storms, which has caused a state of emergency.
Up and down its coastline, pounding waves and powerful rains wreaking havoc.
The surf breaks so hard when it comes up that the whole place shakes.
Yeah, Evan, Coco, we go from the East Coast and the storm system there to an earthquake on the West Coast, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake, which is fairly large.
To the index of other news, a swarm of earthquakes in Oklahoma, 26 in 24 hours, the two biggest, a 4.8 and a 4.4, 30 seconds apart.
A massive sinkhole has forced the closure of a main highway in southern Oregon. Pictures you have to see.
We've shown you sinkholes before, Sarah, in our city here, but they're nothing like this. Check this out. This is drone video of a monster sinkhole. This is the Oregon coast.
She impacted so many people at such a young age in the name of Jesus.
Look at this. It's caught fire across the country.